Hi Aquarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for the 17th to the 23rd of June. Man, this month is flying by. So this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, my darlings. A little bit of a different setup here. We're in the mood for summer. We're using another really cool new mermaid deck, which I absolutely adore. This deck came out of the box ready to talk is the best way that I can describe it. Each deck kind of has a specific energy to it. This one is like ready to come out and say hello. So I'm excited to connect with it, see what's coming up for you guys in the full moon energy. We're coming up on the full moon this week actually, which is coming up this evening of the 16th, early morning hours of the 17th. So you're kicking off the week in that full moon energy. So we're going to see how it's affecting you all, Aquarius, and what's coming up for you in the week ahead for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And at the end, I'm going to be pulling an affirmation card for finances. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking into this week. So here is your Monday, Tuesday, my darlings. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have Two of Pentacles coming up in the beginning of the week for our Aquarius friends. Now, I did say that full moon energy was going to be coming up, and I think what's very interesting is from what I read, for a lot of Aquarius, the full moon was going to be affecting you guys in terms of your friends and family kind of affecting your love life. So Two of Pentacles is a card that has to do with really having your hands full, having a lot going on, being very, very busy, you know, being somewhat of a busy bee here. And so you might be trying to balance being there for your friends and family, but also having personal time for yourself, having social time for yourself, having time for a significant other or a partner. Somebody might say that, oh, well, you know, your friends or your relationships are changing you, and you know, they're making you somebody else, and I don't like who you are when you're with them, and this and this and that. And some of you may be dealing with that kind of thing, and you being the peacemaker that you are, you might be trying to just get to everybody and make everybody happy. But overall, it could just feel like you feel kind of overwhelmed. And so Aquarius, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you're not going to be able to be everything to everyone. You're not going to be able to get to everyone at once. And you need to get clear about what is true for you. Okay, some of you are more in this energy of not wanting to have conflict, not wanting to have disagreements with others. And so you kind of might, you might not take a stand for certain things, right? You might gravitate towards certain friends or certain partners who, to you, they resonate with your authentic self. You're like, yeah, that's right up my alley. But your friends or other friends or family might not realize it or understand that. And they might say, well, I don't like this person because they make you a different person, or they're influencing you in a negative way. So Aquarius, some of you are going to have to set this boundary and not find yourself having to go between these two worlds, being these two different people. Some of you are going to have to just step up and say, look, no, this is who I am, or this is my friend, or this is my partner, this is what I believed, like this is how I'm living my life, this is me. So some of you are having to set a healthy boundary in that way. Other ones of you are just really tired of kind of catering to everybody else. Like when I'm looking at this card, it's very interesting because what I'm seeing in it is like there's these two little mermaids, right? And they're just watching this bunny like juggle, like it's this bunny's obligation to amuse them or entertain them. And after a while that could be tiring, right? Or maybe you don't mind doing it for a little bit, but maybe somebody is asking for too much or for too long. Okay, so some of you are having to balance what you want versus what other people are expecting from you or requesting of you. Some of you are having to walk away from a second job or from certain obligations that have just become too much. You're having to take some burden off of you in some way. Your Wednesday, Thursday card is the Sun. Okay, now this is interesting because we did talk about and say how according to the astrology and the zodiac reports, now you guys have heard me say it, my dears, I am not an astrology expert by any means. I just, like, my understanding of it is very basic. I think it's interesting. I'm newer on the path of understanding it, so I'm never going to sit here and try to teach anybody astrology. But from my understanding and from what I have read, like I said, for a lot of Aquarius, this full moon was going to bring up certain aspects of your family and friends life versus your love life. And the Sun card is actually a card about true love, happiness, freedom, celebration, being able to be yourself, like, you know, just like coming out of hiding, being very open about who you are, how you live your life, being in joy, being in celebration, all of those wonderful things. So as you're coming into the middle part of the week, a lot of you are releasing the fears that you had for a long time about being your true self, or, you know, owning certain relationships or friendships or romantic partners. I feel some of you Aquarius are coming out of a lot of expectations, like traditional expectations, or like this is what's expected, or this is how it's always been done, or this is how it's always been done generation after generation. And some of you are creating your own traditions. It's interesting, Aquarius, because I do feel some of you are coming out of like a traditional, like you're even thinking about the holidays and you're like, well, we're gonna have our own tradition, or we're gonna do our own holiday, or we're gonna do it our own way, or we're gonna do something different. Or some of you maybe are with a partner that you have very different backgrounds, maybe different religions, maybe different upbringings, and you're coming up with like something that is honoring or blending like your beliefs, especially those of you, the Sun card can sometimes have to do with children or family or childbirth, especially those of you who are at a point or at an age where you know, you're looking to have a family, or you're preparing to have a family, and you might be preparing to do so with someone that has a very different background from yours. And so you guys might be, again, like coming up with your own traditions, your own beliefs, your own sense of spirituality that you plan on instilling in your children, things of that nature, okay? But it's not going to be religious for all of you. Some of you, it's just a matter of just being yourself, not feeling like you have to hide anymore, you know, and just being very open about what you want. Some of you, you're finally receiving recognition that you've been waiting for a very long time. So for some of you, it couldn't be out of a financial situation. Since Two of Pentacles in the beginning of the week, Two of Pentacles can also be about finances and money, and really trying to like get ahead, or feeling like you're kind of struggling. And so for some of you midweek, it could be something along the lines of a new job or a promotion or something of that nature. But whatever it is, it's something where you're finally seeing your worth, and you're feeling like you can kind of come out of hiding and really go after that which your heart has been desiring for a long time. Sometimes we don't try for dreams or goals because we're worried that we're going to look silly in front of other people for wanting those things, because they're going to say, oh, that's not you, or you can't pull that off. And a lot of you Aquarius, you're getting over that fear. You're like, it doesn't matter what other people think, like this is who I am, this is what I'm feeling guided to do. And you're finally having the courage to be out in the open and do that, whatever that may be for you on your particular path. Ooh, Aquarius, I love this card. High Priestess is coming up for you in the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The High Priestess is a very special card, okay? It has to do with connecting with the higher self, connecting with your intuition. It is a very spiritual card, and for a lot of people, it can signify coming out of kind of what you were taught to believe about spirituality or the spiritual realm or religion, and coming into what the truth is inside yourself. Now, we all have a moral compass, right? And so a lot of you are finally connecting with that moral compass that is going to be more than just spirituality. For a lot of you, you're going to feel it in the way that you're just going to have an inner knowing where you feel like your judgment is improving, where you're going to be able to have intuition that is guiding you about what the best decision to make is going to be for you moving forward. You're just going to have a certain gut feeling about certain people or about certain situations, and you're just gonna have this feeling, I feel like this is what I need to do, or I feel like this is gonna be the best step to take moving forward. You're gonna begin making decisions based on feelings, right? And this is intuition. This is what intuition is. This is what guidance is. This is what divine guidance is, really. It's inside of us. It's, you know, in all of us, there's this little instruction manual, this little blueprint, this little operation manual that has been instilled in us, but it gets lost along the way sometimes. We forget that it's there, or we get conditioned by media or whatever it might be, or by upbringing, and we get disconnected from that. And when the high priestess comes up, it's letting us know that there's an awakening where you're connecting back with that inner truth. Inside of all of us is the truth, you guys, right? Even if you want to look at it from a religious standpoint, many religions teach the same basic things. Like, many religions agree on what is right and what is wrong, and at the heart of it really is to be a loving person, to be a good person, not to cause harm to others. That is what really is at the heart of most religions, right? But people put different spins on it, and they tell it in different ways. But inside our heart, inside the human experience, inside the soul, there's this inner compass of what is right and what is wrong. And when the high priestess comes up, you're connecting with it. Now, keep in mind also, Aquarius, that we are in human bodies. So when this awakening happens, the chakras open up, and the body and the spirit, everything is coming connected. And with some people, there's a very strong, oops, wow, what was that? There's a very strong connection within yourself with the root chakra. And with the root chakra opening up, some people begin to attract a lot of sexual energy, or people that are interested in you, or they feel very like magnetically drawn to you. They feel like they maybe even are pursuing you very persistently. Some of you might find that kind of happening beginning of the end of the week, where you're getting a lot of attention, or people are flirting with you, or people seem to be really into you. And this is just saying they're really gravitating towards your energy. But my advice to you is, when you come into that energy, when people just seem to want you, or they seem to be very persistent, let them prove themselves, because some of these people are going to come at you super duper persistent, and you're going to be like, wow, this person's really into me. But they're like a moth that's just rushing at a flame in the dark. They're mesmerized by you, they're hypnotized by you, they're coming at you full speed, but they have no idea what you are, and they might not be ready for you, and they might get too close, and they might get burnt, and it might not be pleasant for you, it might not be pleasant for them, right? They might not be ready for you. They're just energetically, very magnetically drawn to you, but they might not be at your level spiritually. So my advice to you is, let these people kind of work their way in, or prove themselves. Even if they're being super persistent and you're like, wow, this person's really into me, let them prove themselves before you move forward. You might want to check out your love reading for the month. I will have a link in the description to the love readings for June. And there might be a little bit more clarity in there for you, depending on your situation, if you haven't checked out the love readings yet. But I would also check out my moon sign and rising sign if I were you, because those are also going to sometimes resonate more, or bring in a little extra information for you for the month ahead, my dear Aquarius. We're going to go ahead and check out what your money or financial affirmation is for the week ahead. And as always, guys, those of you who are interested in these decks, I will have the information for them at the... I will have the information for them in the description of the video. And guys, I'm going to do a full moon video. I'm going to try to do something a little bit different, so hopefully you guys can check that out. Hopefully it works. I have an idea. Not sure how it's going to come off or how it's going to go, but it's definitely experimental. I kind of want to do something cool with visual effects. I kind of posted in the story already. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully we can do something cool for the full moon here. So you have flexibility in terms of finances, and we have this, oops, beautiful bird here. Okay, so my advice to you, my dears, I read intuitively, so I invite you to maybe take a screenshot of this card, or pause it or come back to it and look at what's jumping out at you from the picture, like what's a message for you, and what's going to guide you in terms of the right path for you with your finances, or messages that might be coming in. Intuitively, I'm going to tell you what I see. I see a butterfly that to me speaks of change and transformation, and I see these two birds that are flying around looking for that worm, looking for that insect, looking for that next tasty little opportunity, and they're not staying in one place. Sometimes as humans, we will try the same thing again and again and again, or we will stay in a miserable job forever thinking maybe it's going to change. Maybe they're going to promote me this time. Maybe they're going to promote me the next time around. Maybe something's going to be different. And we stay in a situation of lack. Animals don't do that. Animals keep going until they find where the fruit is, where the good hunting is, where the water is. They will not wait for something to change. They intuitively, I remember intuition was a big thing for you in the end of the week. Animals intuitively will gravitate towards where there's gonna be something more. They don't stay in a life of lack. Okay, so to me, this flexibility is maybe sometimes we bark up the wrong tree, so to speak. I see those trees in the back. Sometimes we bark up the wrong tree waiting for a result that's not coming. But if we're like the butterfly, we're going to go through the changes and the transformations. We're going to be like the bird and fly into new territory, and look for better opportunities, or expand our view, look at things from a bigger picture, look at things from a, like, just taking a big step back and looking at the whole situation and not getting hung up on one little detail that we're insisting upon. So your affirmation here is flexibility. I am flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambitions. Okay, so this is a beautiful affirmation that you can use to bring about, opportunities that you're passionate about and that are also going to be abundant for you. I thank you so very much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Thank you for being here, Aquarius. I am wishing you all the best.